are just the visitors of this beautiful park named Earth. And our co-brothers are these sensible animals, crawling insects, dancing plants, cheerful flowers, and the swimming species, those beautify and decorate our nature. It's my pleasure to extend a cheerful welcome to you all. Here I am, Chandana Priya R of the Ashok Leyland School, pretty much excited to address you all about Goodwill at the verge of its endangerment zone. Human, scientifically termed the Homo sapien, or simply the man, are the definingly so-called good. What do you find the difference between them all? Nothing, right? It's just the word that differs. They all correspond to a living figure who are distinct from other organisms in possessing a lifelong quest of seventh sense that typically relate to the capabilities of feelings and showing emotions. So now, into simpler terms, I can postulate that humans have an ideal characteristic of humanity. In turn, if you look for what exactly is this humanity, it is all about the state of being human. And this humanity is well addressed by the so-called goodwill, and which results in the association of fellow beings. Life is one's greatest gift, and goodwill is one's greatest gift. Looking further, what indeed is the so-called goodwill? It is an intangible asset of humankind that results to the bonding among the fellow beings. Yes, it is an intangible asset. So here, what do we call the goodwill? Something very important and so valuable. We may be at par across oceans, across seas, across borders, but not by hearts. We are at par across borders and overseas, not by hearts, right? We are Earthians. Humanity should be our race, and love should be our religion. Goodwill is the treasure of life. A little knowledge, a little thoughts, and little kindness often worth more than a great deal of money. How valuable is the so-called goodwill? Let us consider a recent alarming situation that has brought everyone to a standstill. The novel coronavirus has got to put everyone on a hold. From smile to putting masks on, from work from office to work from home, and for great concern of the poor, from starving to fulfill their bellies to yearning to fulfill their needs and needs. When the pandemic hit and everyone were required to mask up, it was indeed a great challenge to make the sorrow lives behind those masks. But to the great testimony, the pandemic has flourished humanity even more friendly, becoming more approachable even behind those masks. Many and many more goodwills rised against the crisis to stand against the plight of their fellow beings. Many more took to deliver food parcels to the starving bellies, and several others took to feeding the street dogs who became the hungriest creatures on this planet during this pandemic. Several others took to sharing the information about the crest virus, and many more shared information responsibility and help others who create barriers against this pandemic. Another account of the souls of the goodwills who have saved n number of lives in this pandemic. The pandemic has brought up the n number of goodwills, namely the doctors, nurses, polices, and many more working hard like they've got the superpowers, and the polices who took to guards on each day to make our day a greatest tribute to all the frontline workers across the globe. And today, we become the product of the endless sacrifices of the young number of goodwills across the globe. So here, I would like to mention that this so-called composition of goodwill is not the one that gets disappears or that gets never destroyed. It's just the one that is hidden and which firmly stands to force during their toughest times, battling for each other. So, addressing back on the goodwill with respect to endangerment. Endangerment is a term that we generally use for a particular species that is more likely to get disappeared. What if goodwill strikes extinct? No, not a chance of it. But in case, if it continues at the verge of its endangered zone, just imagine who you are on this planet Earth. Just the temporary visitors to this planet. Being time travelers, we are obliged to help others, serve the oneness before we are no more. Even prior to the wake of the world, the busy people start rushing. But their world is modernizing day by day, but the humanity is decelerating day by day. But still, to this modernizing world, it is not so difficult to delete realness, save bondingness, download relationships, erase